Good evening and welcome to Nightfall in Amsterdam. Tonight we're joining a fairly large group of crew. Looks like members of a couple different packs and some freelancers gathering to start looking into a couple of options that they've come up with for possible homes of excuse me, for their sept. Not just the guru and the spirits, but also the significant number of kinfolk that are, uh, yeah. One of the locations that they kind of felt could be valuable is Bennebrooktbos, wooded area, and that houses a former estate house, fairly quite wild. Otherwise, very thick forests um, with a river running through it, or stream at least, um, and no real direct road access. There's some roads that run along the very far edges, but for the most part, relatively secluded, despite being in the city. Um, and for these reasons, they felt it could be a good possibility, and have gathered at the edge near that city street side to kind of venture in and get out, see what this area is all about. Pretty low traffic road. There's some residential, some businesses. It's kind of a transition area, so there's a reasonable amount of traffic without being excessive. With that, I'll turn it over to everyone to introduce themselves.
Little Fang is walking up with Alvaro to meet there. She's kind of casting these daggers out the corner of her eyes at him.
What? What have I done?
I do not understand why I have to wear these shoes. They are uncomfortable.
It's better for your feet in this form.
This form is weak.
Size.
And why did you come back stinking of your cigarettes last night? You smelled like you had bathed in them.
I had a few and was in a place where they had several.
Does not sound like a good place.
It was
You
interesting.
should avoid it.
I may do that. I haven't decided yet. It was not that bad though.
The smell is that bad.
He smells himself. Smell fine now.
Yes, that is why I shoved you into the river.
I can buy some spray to spray myself if I happen to go there again. It will smell like the waterfall.
If it does not, I will shove you in the river again.
Air's kind of standing there as they're walking up, looking into the forest with their back turned to the road, waiting.
For a second, I thought you said she was near the river, and I was debating if she needed to be pushed in.
This is how Alvaro died.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Hello, Air.
She kind of looks over her shoulder and gives them a nod.
Veronica shows up where there's not many people and meets up with the rest of them.
Air will wave. I mean, Alvaro will wave. Air will do air things.
She nods.
Lucas is going to show up probably just shortly after, or maybe around the same time that Veronica gets there, and just kind of look to see who's there and give everybody that chin up, how's it going motion.
Good to see you again, my friend.
Hello.
It's been a few nights now.
Yeah, it's been a bit. How you doing?
Doing well. Well, Little Fang, this is Veronica. Veronica, pleasure to see you.
I met Little Fang
Oh, good.
recently.
Well, ladies.
Little Fang has manners.
Oh, yes.
That's not what I heard. I heard something about when you two were walking up about Alvaro here getting pushed in the river.
Yes, she shoved me in last night when I came home.
Veronica has an amused look.
I smelled of cigarettes. She does not approve.
Oh,
Lucas just chuckles.
if that's your if that's the worst you do, then you're doing pretty good.
I like to think so.
I did not hold him under.
Yeah, she just shoved me in.
We can see that. Well, should we get in there instead of just standing on the side of the road looking in?
I mean, we could stand on the side of the road looking in and then stare at each other strangely for a while.
Awkward. Lucas walks in.
And this is how it moves.
Air kind of seconds Lucas there, and she's like, "Yep," and walks in.
Probably the wilderness area is probably the easiest to explore first, and then we could choose to explore the Umbra and the city.
That's fun.
Mm-hmm.
We'll head in, look about.
Little Fang
Just-
heads in quickly.
Does anyone have any means of detecting worm taint or anything like that?
I do.
Yes.
Yeah, Lucas does
Okay.
too. Suppose he should roll it.
Out of game, it's because of the last Karen. It's like, no, let's not do that again.
Little Fang's gonna pop heightened senses.
Okay.
And what's the roll for sense worm?
I think I just have that one bookmarked by now.
Perception occult. Diff varies.
Yeah, it's perfect cult.
I bet you're proud of yourself.
Let's go with the diff 7.
Three for Lucas.
Will heightened senses affect the roll, or
I do not believe so.
oops, almost forgot. One success for Littlefang.
Two for Alvaro. One scored formula in my head. It's not working. Ten swarm rolls were made.
Okay,
Right.
roll the small person down.
Alright. You guys do not sense any sign of the worm, other than the fact that you're at the edge of the city, so there's minor traces floating around kind of in that business, but nothing more than you expect to find, especially in a city like Amsterdam.
It's okay.
So, do we want to split up and maybe cover more ground while we're here, or do we want to stay in one group?
Splitting up is fine.
I mean, we're already in one place. It doesn't make sense to really split up, does it?
Go either way.
The one thing we could do, we could have one side on the Umbra.
Umbra's always easier for me.
Same here.
I will go where you prefer.
Veronica looks at air. Might be a good idea if we did do a split in the Umbra and another half into Delirium, you're in the Umbra with them, since you know about the spirits.
Well, I mean, we're all here. I mean, if the point is for us all to look at the place, we might as well all look at it in whole, as much as I prefer the Umbra.
That is fun too.
Alright then.
Is it safe to be free of the human skin here?
At this moment, because we're at the edge of the city, I would say not yet.
There might be a little grumble from her.
Oh, Alvaro smirks.
So, what's the plan then? We're gonna go through the woods first, or what do we want to do?
How about the
So,
woods?
Yeah.
Alright, so you guys are just gonna kind of start heading right through the thick of the woods, or do you look for? There are some footpaths that go through the area. You kind of looking more at the wilderness part, or you trying to follow the footpaths?
Lucas will stick to the footpaths.
Veronica will go in some of the wilderness area, but keep the footpath in eye view.
Littlefang's avoiding the footpaths. When she feels like she's in a safe enough place, she will shift back to Lupus.
There's no
Alright.
rivers around here, right?
There's Greg.
Crap.
How big is this place anyway?
Probably. I mean, it's definitely at least a couple dozen acres total. Um, there is some that is more of like open field areas. That's probably 2 to 3 acres, and the rest is pretty heavily forested. Um, does run part of it does run up to the river along 2 edges, the main river.
John, I also just did a perception alertness roll to see a bit more on the wilderness or animals. I only got like 1 success, so same as everyone else is seeing.
Yes.
Lucas is specifically looking for things like trash or litter that may be around, and if he sees any, he's going to take note of how old it looks. You know, like if it's been rained on and if it's been like muddied up a bit, that kind of thing. Suppose I should roll for that, huh?
Just gonna be keeping an eye out in general.
3.
Alright. 3 successes. You will. Oh, thank you. Relatively little amount of litter. It's quite well maintained. You do find among the litter a leash with a broken collar. That's fairly good sized and looks to be fairly new.
Okay. Picks it up.
All right.
He is gonna ask Lil Feng to see if she can find who was wearing it, though, if she's around.
She's prowling through the underbrush. So if you call for her, she will respond.
Hey, Lil, where you at?
She will pat over carefully.
Found this. It looks like someone may have lost a dog out here, so there might be someone out looking for their dog. Maybe see if you can get a scent on it.
She will sniff at it.
And you're able to pick up a scent fairly strongly. Definitely goes deeper into the woods.
Do you want me to roll with survival?
Yeah, if you're gonna track it, that would be best.
Okay. Hashtag 7 to 10. Would the lupus perception bonus apply to this?
Yes.
Okay.
Does it have a tag on there?
It does not.
She has 6 successes to track them, or at least the animal, or whichever one she got the scent of.
Alright, so you will able to pick up the scent pretty easily. Head deeper into the woods. Excuse me, following it. And you do spot a number of fairly large paw prints over here as well.
Did anybody follow her?
Aurora will be following.
Air's kind of following, but keeping an eye and seeing what kind of plants are here and stuff.
Lucas is staying on the footpath and just keeping an eye out for people who might be trying to call for a lost dog, that kind of thing.
Veronica will be on an area near the footpath, though not on it, while keeping an eye on everyone.
Littlefang tells Avaro, these are very big paw prints.
You want to just tell me the direction and I'll just walk behind me?
She's gonna keep following them. So I'm pretty sure she's gonna be able to smell them all the way.
If you see someone, you jump into my arms and I will say, I don't.
You see her hackles rise a little bit at that.
Just to see them. You obviously know.
She continues following the trail.
I'm getting absurd wind tunnel noise. I'm not sure who that is.
I am too.
There it is. I don't know if you've got your headset directly in the vent or what. All right. So you guys are following the paw prints, or at least some of you are. Give me a quick alertness.
Everyone or just the ones following, or?
Everyone can.
Perception alertness.
Yep.
Diff.
Oh, you do need that from everybody, huh?
Okay. This has a nice pair of shoes going.
Littlefang has 3 successes. Air has like 5, maybe
Yeah.
more.
Air got a lot. That's
Um,
awesome, Air.
I don't think anybody else got successes.
Not really.
Lucas, -1.
Fresh shoes.
Alright. So, Air and Fang are the only two that looks like that noticed anything. And you guys see actually a pair of legs hanging out from under tree roots.
Ah, there's legs hanging out from trees.
Yeah. So like big heavy roots are laid over, and you can see a pair of legs sticking out from under the roots.
Human legs, dog legs.
Human.
Are these in the same line area as my trail I'm following?
Yeah, they're kind of in that same, kind of right off that trail, actually.
She's gonna slow down and kind of sniff her way over towards the legs, trying to signal to Alvaro that there's something.
Yeah,
He seems completely oblivious, but then notices she's moving. So he
Air
will
is
follow.
gonna kind of stop anybody else from getting any closer, considering well, at least in Hamid form anyway.
Veronica
Because if
is
they're
just gonna
following
go
a set
closer
of
to
footprints, they're probably making footprints.
Veronica's gonna stop and like when seeing Air stopping people, even though she's not on the trail. Like she's just overlooking it.
And she's gonna flat out tell them if we're gonna move forward in here, we probably want to do it in Lupus because, well, we're following prints, so we're probably making them, and well, there's obviously legs sticking out of that tree or from underneath those bushes. She points towards where Little Fang is sniffing around.
I'm fairly certain, at least where I'm from, they don't do that. Is that normal here, or is that?
I'm pretty sure we just stumbled upon a body. All right.
Is there a body with under these roots with these legs?
Well, that's the part that's hard to tell because those roots are actually pretty solidly embedded.
I can pull, and we can find out.
Can she tug on? Is there like clothing or anything she can tug on?
Yeah, I mean it's a clothed set of legs.
Well, if it has like a shoe or something on, she'll like grab it and she'll bite onto that and try and drag it out.
All right, roll me a strength at standard difficulty.
A strength what?
Just a straight strength roll at standard diff.
Strength. It's pretty, and it's getting there pretty good. It's not budging right now. She got 0 successes.
Right. Or she gets the shoe off.
And Little Fang is gone. Pretty sure that's not part of the scene with the hands.
Fitting though.
Didn't. John, I'm gonna take my character's gonna take her time and ship to Lupus.
Okay.
Yep. Air is going to take her time and shift to Lupus as well. And further, she's going to push up a little bit further just to be safe while Little Fang is tugging on the shoes and the pant legs.
I will help her.
My
Alright.
character's gonna find the footprints that Little Fang was looking at. Comparison to my my lupus form paw print, how big is the tracks that she's following?
Slightly smaller.
Okay.
I have a success.
You're definitely not following like a chihuahua or something.
Okay.
Yeah, Lucas is gonna come in off the footpath into the woods a bit and also shift down.
Do you want another strength roll to see if she can tug it out?
Sure.
I got
Also
a success.
phrasing.
Two successes.
Alright, 2 successes. It does start to budge.
And I had one to assist.
Alright.
Are the legs embedded in the root, or are they just underneath the root?
They are underneath it, but I need a perception for the primal urge.
From
From the two who are pulling at the.
Okay. What's the
Standard.
does the lupus sense bonus get applied?
No.
Okay.
5 successes?
2 for little thing.
Alright. So Lil Fang will notice that as you guys are trying to pull the legs out, the root seems to almost push down, like grip the body tighter. Lucas, you can tell quite clearly that something has animated that root to try and hold the body.
You cut out a little bit there. What was that?
You can tell quite clearly that something has animated that root to try and hold that body you guys are pulling out.
I let everyone know. I mean, that tree is doing it. It's working against you.
Air kind of raises an eyebrow hearing that, and she's going to turn directly to look at the tree, and she is going to peek into the umbra. So, what is your difficulty for that? I think I automatically get to do it because of my totem, actually. See, I'm peeking into the umbra.
Alright. You see a spirit, really attractive looking female. Appears to be almost made out of like bark and flowers and leaves. And she will look down from, she's like kind of up almost in the tree, like in the lower branches. And she looks down at you and or in your direction, since you're peeking, she can't exactly see you.
Okay. And Air is gonna kind of she's gonna stop peeking for a second, and she's gonna be like, can I roll a spirit lore of some sort to at least try to figure out what kind of spirit it is?
Oh, that's fine.
I'm going to assume it's not like a glade child or something, but
Forget the name of the other type of glade child where they're
she's dealt with
corrupted.
glade child before, but
Triad.
okay, hold on, here we go. One success.
All right, with one success, it's definitely not a Glade Child, but it seems to be kind of in the, at least in the same, kind of the same family, so to speak, like a related spirit.
Okay. So it's some kind of nature spirit. That's about really.
Right.
And it's not worm tainted.
Correct.
All right. And she kind of looks over at Lil Thing and she's like, there's a spirit keeping that in place, as it were. Some kind of nature spirit. I'm not sure what it is.
Then if we speak to the spirit, we may find out why it holds this body so tight.
Yes, we might. She knows we're here. I'm pretty sure. She looked in my general direction when I peeked.
Is there a reflective source nearby that we might cross over?
I'm sure you can find something.
Little Fang will, if worst comes to worst, she'll make her way to the river and use that to cross over. And then head back to this tree.
All the same.
Air kind of she pulls a small, what was a makeup mirror, and it's literally just the mirror out of her pocket. Anybody else?
Veronica will go along with her.
When in Rome, Lucas heads over.
Yep. What's the gauntlet?
It is 5.
Ooh, okay.
It's primal urge and what?
Nope, just Gnosis.
Just notices.
Two for Lucas.
Air 5.
2.
2 for Little Fang.
No, Alvaro, you do not have 12.
Are you sure?
He's got 1 success.
Yeah. Or can we roll whichever you prefer?
Teasing.
I'm fine with that.
Okay. Just out of curiosity's sake. Oh, well, I'm glad you were.
I suppose Air will, once over in the Umbra, return to her breed form.
You guys will notice that death is approaching.
Oh, awesome. And all the spirits want to be, and air has spirit magnets, so I'm sure lots of spirits are having a great time.
Veronica will pick Kiernos.
And air's kind of looking right at the spirit by the tree.
For anybody who's never seen Lucas in the Umbra, he's got Spirit Heritage 5 electricity, so he's a bit of a spark and crackle.
He's a bit
Veronica-
zappy.
Veronica's got Spirit Heritage for Grandfather Thunder, so she appears like a thunderstorm.
Yeah, spirit heritage of war spirits, so you can imagine what that looks like.
Laura doesn't have any of these things.
I would imagine Air does not look like a puppy.
No, air does not look like a puppy, especially because she's in Hamid.
Death will sit, letting the theurge do the theurge thing.
Oh,
Alvaro will go sit next to Wolfang.
and of course I have a grumpy baby. Give me a second.
Lucas is doing not like a full-on like patrol of the area while this is going on, but he's, keeping an eye out, walking around, pacing a little bit.
Okay. So yeah, Air, like I said, she's kind of made herself very clearly known. She's like not hiding herself from the spirit. She's looking right at the spirit, but she's also gonna look at the roots to see if the legs are also on this side.
They are, and she appears to be kind of like at that tree. Like right down to she matches the same. Her skin, the bark of her skin is the same color, that sort of thing.
So she is essentially the tree.
Can little thing roll for spirit lore?
Yes.
Standard diff?
Yep.
2 successes.
You know that nature spirits can often manifest in similar fashion. In some cultures, they're dryads, and other similar roles are taken. The woman looks first at Air, since she was the first person to notice her, and doesn't say anything but kind of gestures towards the body.
How long have you had this?
She looks at you and she says, "Oh, I gather he wasn't a friend of yours. He came to me, no more than 3 days ago.
And what did he want?
He was trying to catch someone that he had no business catching."
Catch someone. Like, you mean chasing someone?
Yes, like pursue, catch,
Okay.
capture.
Capture. What else? I mean, so what, you entrapped him?
Well, I assisted first in making sure he could not act, and then I trapped him.
Erin's gonna nod and she's going to glance over at Lil Fang and because she was doing the initial tracking. Did you see any other prints?
The prints that I saw were that of a lupine creature, wolf or dog.
She'll nod.
But their trail went off away from the tree. It did not stop here. At least not for long.
She gestures and says, because he wasn't captured.
You guys might as well proceed here.
I will continue to track him. Be well, daughter of the forest. And she's gonna go and cross back over to
Alright.
continue tracking the.
Laura will give a spirit a bow and follow Lil Fang.
Other than the spirit, are there any other spirits kind of in the area that look like they're interesting at all, or just what you would expect to see in this area?
They're all pretty minor, and they seem to, the ones that are around seem to kind of respect her territory, her space, so to speak.
So no, like death spirits floating around the legs or whatever?
No.
Okay. Yeah, Lucas, in his Lupus form, gives her the, a bow or whatever as well, respectfully, and then crosses back over.
Air kind of looks at her and so is it just one person pursuing another, or were there more than one? I think it's safe to say that you know this area quite well.
She just nods at that.
Would our earlier sense worm roll still be in effect now, or would you like a new one? I want to see if there's any worm taint on the body.
No, you can use that one, that's fine. You do not find any evidence of worm taint.
Okay.
And Fang will, as she moves forward, the scent gets stronger. Including Roll me. Let's go with a. Another perception primal urge.
Will lupus modifiers come into this?
Yes.
2 successes.
Alright, with 2 successes, you pick up among the scent a very faint hint of sort of a human-like scent as well, but mixed into the same scent.
She will continue following.
Alright, as you follow it, and the group follows as well. I'm assuming most of them are kind of staying, keeping pace.
Lucas is keeping pace as long as there was no mention that there was a smell of humans around. If that gets relayed, he would pop back to Hamid because, a wolf with giant horns is probably harder to explain than a goth metal dude with horns.
Alright. As you guys continue on the Umbra side, you will start to pick up a number of what seem to be unpleasant spirits. You can't say for certain that they're Banes, but they certainly could be. And they're all somewhat Hamid looking, but wrapped in chains.
They're wrapped in chains. Can I make a spirit lore check to see what they are?
Yes, if it's spirit lore, I'm gonna go with a diff 8.
One second. Is my mic any louder?
Much.
Okay. I think I was cutting it off.
Oh shit. Oh shit, I did not expect that.
Nice.
5 successes.
Alright. Oh, well, with 5 successes, you'll know right away that this is these are a sort of a warped, wormish variation on like a kin-fetch spirit. And they're usually pretty discreet. They can kind of blend in and whatnot, but that they're sent out to try and capture kin and whatnot that might be useful to the worm.
That is not good. And how many are there?
You find 3 of them.
Ugh.
On the physical side, as you get closer, Fane, you will hear what sounds like a human crying.
She will pause and whisper back to those who are following her that she hears a human crying.
Which way?
She points her nose in the direction.
Lucas
Maybe
shifts
that way.
back up to Hamid and goes that way.
See.
All right. As you get closer to the birds are crying and stuff, you start to see a relatively small young man. You would say he's a teenager at best. Sitting there on the ground, naked and crying.
Does the sentinel from worm earlier still apply?
If you wanted to sense here, it would be a separate roll.
John, with me seeing the three spirits, does it? Air's still asking the questions, right? Like she.
Yeah, I'd say she's probably, unless Holly tells me otherwise, I'd say she's probably kind of getting some information from the spirit, what she can, to expand on what you guys know or were told.
What's the diff?
Standard.
Yeah, Lucas got 4.
3 for me.
I have some successes. So you guys pick up this vague hint of worm, whatever it is pretty small or hides itself pretty well. Nothing real obvious or blatant.
Alvaro, can you tell what this is? Is it human?
Looks it. I'm gonna. Are we seeing the back of him?
Out of character, he's basically asking if you have scent of the true form.
Oh, no. No, I can tell.
All right.
So does it look like the three spirits are doing anything? Or are they just
They
floating?
seem to be like following me. The same trail you guys are. At this point.
So Lucas, while still maintaining the hood on his hoodie over his head, takes his shirt off, which for a kid this size is probably long enough to cover him up sufficiently, and walks over and hands him the shirt.
Veronica pack links Lucas. So on the Umbra, there are three spirits that are slightly worm-like, following the trail you guys are on in the Umbra.
Mm-hmm. Noted. There's a young teenager over here, maybe between, I don't know, 10 to 13. It's hard for me to tell. Naked and crying. I was just gonna give him a shirt and see if I can get him to talk.
Does the trail seem to end here, or does it smell like it continues on from here?
The scent trail seems to end there.
Little Fang's gonna shift up the Hamid and walk towards the kid. She's small, so she shouldn't be too intimidating.
Lucas, would you like to keep your shirt? Use my duster.
Oh, yeah, even better.
And take it off. He's got a knife on his belt. Off the shirt and the duster a little bit. Got it on.
Alright, so you guys are kind of getting this teenager clothed up a little bit.
Is he dirty or anything, or?
Oh, his feet seem to be.
So while this duster exchange is happening, then Lucas is going to kind of circle around a little bit, so that we're not all on one side of him.
Little Fang will approach slowly.
The young man just kind of looks up and, kind of pulls back a little bit.
You are all right. I will not hurt you. Was this the first time?
He kind of is looking back and forth and doesn't seem to at first make the connection. Then he nods briefly.
The first time can be very terrifying.
He just kind of shakes a little bit as you guys get close to him.
Lucas is pack linking all of this back to Veronica.
And what do the spirits look like they're doing? Are they still like just following the trail?
No, they're kind of hovering around this area.
So she's gonna pack link that to Lucas that they are hovering.
Do you know what they are, or just that they're wormish?
John, you said they were slightly wormish. They weren't fully worm tainted, right?
No, they're right. They're wormish, but they don't. I mean, they're not like blazingly. These aren't veins or something.
Yeah.
They just seem to be kind of like corrupted kin fetches.
So, Lucas, these are like corrupted kin fetches.
Does that mean something's coming for this kid?
That's what I'm curious about, and unfortunately Air's too occupied, but I have heard with some worm spirits, if they're not banes, they're not always like evil. And I want to go shoot first and ask questions later.
Any chance we could cleanse them?
Would 5 successes tell me, like, it's a good idea or bad idea to cleanse them with spirit lore, or no?
I would tell you that it might be possible. So you would know that they're not spirits that were born
Worm.
wormish or created wormish. They were corrupted that way, so you would know
Okay.
that it's possible they may be able to be bring back.
Would Rite of Cleansing work? Or would it have to be something stronger than that?
That should work. It might require more successes than typical, but it would
Okay.
should be doable.
Alright, I'm gonna try that out.
If several of us were participating in that ritual, would that add to the likelihood of success?
I would allow you guys to roll successes, yes.
So it's rituals, and what do you want? Wits?
Mm-hmm.
Diff would be, what's the diff? 6, 7? John, is it diff 6?
I gotta take a look here.
Okay.
That is a. Well, it's actually charisma rituals, apparently.
Ooh.
There's a rite of cleansing, a rite of accord. And it says it's a difficulty of 7.
So Lucas heads back to the Umbra to help out with this.
Thank you. Alright, gonna roll it. 5 successes.
Son of a bitch, Lucas.
Damn it! And John, I doubt would air of confidence work with specialty, because one of those successes were 10 or no? I mean, I'm not. 5 successes is still good.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Well, not in that application anyway. But that's definitely enough to cleanse the 3 of them.
Yes!
It will cost you 2 gnosis.
Okay.
Do all 51. Temp gnosis, not permanent.
Okay, but. So I'd have to meditate for that. Alright.
How do they react after they've been cleansed?
They seem to relax a little bit. They still circle the this kid, but they're less high strung about it.
Veronica talks to the spirits. So, you seem to be interested in this spot.
They point at the child, this teenager.
Lucas, see if you can go on the other side and see if the child might be kinfolk or Garu. They are kinfish spirits.
He just had his first change. He's at least a change. I don't know if he's Garu or not, but he just went through his first change for whatever he is.
Okay.
Lucas looks at the spirits. Do any others know?
He one of them shakes her head and kind of just gestures to the other 2, like, you know, kind of indicating the 3 of us.
So, out of character, Lucas probably doesn't really know a whole lot about how kin fetches work. I also don't. Now that he's changed, are they going to stick with him, or are they going to kind of piss off?
Well, they were kind of to guide him to someone, so.
Oh, okay. So, mission accomplished?
Yeah.
Right. Would Lucas know that? I mean, he's got Spirit Lore 3. Is that like common enough knowledge?
Yeah, I would say so. Kin fetches are not uncommon.
All right. So, looking at Veronica, I think we should probably take him in.
We should. Veronica shifts back to Hamid because she was in Kyrnos.
Okay.
Lucas looks at the Kinfetches and thanks them, and we've got it from here. We'll take care of him.
And they kind of start to drift away.
And Veronica will join. Will go with Lucas to the other side.
Okay.
Meanwhile, Littlefang's sitting in front of him so that he can see her, but she's squatted down, so she's sitting closer to the way a dog would than a normal person. You know, that squat where the knees are like up by your shoulders.
Sure.
I remember the first time I changed. It was terrifying to feel such rage boil through me that I did not understand. Do you have a name?
He looks up at you again. And seems like he's trying to talk a little bit at first. And can't figure it out. Finally gets frustrated and kind of bares his teeth, and he actually shifts into a lupus form.
Veronica's gonna use the gift Persuasion, see if maybe that will calm him down.
Okay.
When he shifts to Lupus, Littlefang relaxes into Lupus herself.
And he kind of gets like a look of relief when he sees that. Uh,
That could be 3 or 6 successes with error competence specialty.
Either way, more than enough.
Yeah, so
So he calmed down quite a bit. And back in lupus, and looks around at all of you, and in a obviously less coherent, because it's a lupus thought process, but conveys that he is known as Puddle Jumper.
I am Littlefang.
He says that his keeper called him Bud most of the time, but he had also had a name, but he never learned to read it.
Do you prefer Puddle Jumper or Bud?
He says Puddle Jumper.
Then I will call you Puddle Jumper.
It's what I was called before the cage.
You will not be in a cage again.
He paces around and he says, I hid here as a pup often. Not many would find me, and some of the wood people would help hide me. But I wandered too far. I was hungry, and a man in a cage. They put a collar on me, and until recently, that's how I lived.
We can take you somewhere safe. Teach you the ways of our people. Our kind are not many, but we are strong.
He kind of bobs his head a little bit, and he says, "This is a good place to hide, though, if needed."
We have been seeking a new home. Perhaps this will be our home, and we will protect it. No man in cages will come here again.
They did not come here. The tree people keep them away. But it is a small home. Better hiding spot. Not much food. People put delicious food in metal boxes. That's how I got caught.
You will be taken care of. You will be given the chance to learn, to grow strong. What phase of the moon is it right now?
Um, it is a full moon, apparently.
Okay. You will learn to control the anger. You will learn to use it to protect yourself, protect others, to protect the Mother Earth.
He just kind of nods. Then he says, hiding's good sometimes.
Hiding only works to a certain extent. There comes a time when you must fight back.
He says, that's how I got away from the leash.
She gives a wolf smile, not the Hamid mimicking one, but an actual like wolfy wolf smile. So it's not like teeth bared or anything, with like the
Okay.
tongue hanging out the side.
Alrighty. Okay, they're heading out with this little wolf.
Can she lead him back to where they're currently keeping space without having to shift back to Hamid?
Yes. And in fact, he kind of helps you pick the way because he knows the alleyways and stuff.
Well, I was thinking like if this is like I don't remember if this was one of the places on the outskirts of the city and they could just go in the woods around the city back.
If it makes it more convenient, I have to drop so Lucas could take him.
Yeah, you'd kind of have to go through the city because of where both of them are located.
Okay. Then she will look to Veronica because she's the highest ranking member of this endeavor.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe take him back.
If we take him, we do need to one point go back to the city and learn more, but we should take him back. This will be too much for him at the moment.
You guys realize too, as you get to the edge of the forest, that he probably can pass as a large dog because of his coloring and build.
Wonder if he's Glasswalker or Bonar.
Well, neither one generally has pure breed, so.
Yeah. Look at the new. His name was Puddle
Puddle
Leaper.
Jumper.
Puddle Jumper. Puddle Jumper. What do you know of the city over there?
That's what I was kept when I was on my leash, but I learned how to sneak out sometimes. That was before I had 2 legs.
Okay. She's trying to think of. She looks at Little Fang because she doesn't know how to describe. It's like, so we need to find out with the city, if it's corrupted or anything bad about it. He's newly changed, so I don't know if he'll understand me. Can you ask him that?
She just kind of stares at you for a minute. Her head kind of cocked. One ear turned cockeyed. It is a city. Of course it is corrupted.
But how bad? That's. I want to see if I can get other details before we go back in there.
Well, we must pass through the city to return to where we came from.
Out of game, isn't the forest outside the city limit that we gotta go to if leaving?
No, so Benabrocus is in the city, or like surrounded by the city.
Oh, so it's like Central Park, kind of.
Yeah, it's bigger than that, but not huge.
Okay. My bad. Then retract that. I would have not asked that. Alright.
The worm's taint is minimal here. At least when we arrived, it seemed so. Most of the taint comes in from outside.
Yeah, it does. Puddle Jumper. Do you know if there's any more of your kind? Or are we the first ones that you met?
And he looks and he says, well, I've been to a park with some others on leashes, but they all had 4 legs. And they seemed to like the leashes. Most of them.
Okay.
In time, we will find where they took you and held you in the cage. And we will make sure that there are no others of ours being kept there. Our kind are very well hoarded by the humans. Or simply slaughtered.
Just trying to pause the ground a little bit. She's watching the street kind of anxiously.
Do you not want to cross?
He looks at her, kind of starts pacing, and he says, No, we should go. We stand still too long and the men with cages come find us.
The men with cages have no chance against us. But we will go. We will save their death for another day. And then we start making our way out.
Alright, so you guys are gonna make your way back to kind of to the refugee camp?
Yeah.
That's the general plan.
Alright. Give me a wits and streetwise. Either everyone can, or if someone's a designated leader, but otherwise we'll defer to the highest.
Out of game, I only have one streetwise, so if someone else can do it.
I only have 0.
I can give it a shot. I think I have.
Lucas also has 0.
I'm gonna give it a shot.
Abby had streetwise. Abby had everything. But we're going to introduce her to her new pup.
Crap.
Okay, tell him do one more. So it takes a little bit for the puddle jumper to get comfortable again with kind of crossing, and he seems nervous, like he's expecting someone to sneak up on him, but eventually he finds a little bit of a groove, and he's actually quite a help because he knows how to navigate the alleys and back roads and stuff. Including pointing out places that tend to have, as he described, some large metal boxes full of food, which you eventually realize he's referring to dumpsters full of food.
Out of character, I kind of figured that's what it was.
But he kind of is able to help point you in the right direction of when to move and which alleys are okay and stuff. It helps get you guys back, following your instructions to the refugee camp. At which point, I assume you guys point him in the direction of Abby, as she's the den mother.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
All right. Is there anything else anyone wants to do before we wrap up?
Lucas is just going to go on patrol once we get back.
Sure. And any of those activities at camp, talking to anyone, that sort of thing, that can all be blue book too.
Okay.
So I just want to make sure nothing directly related to this that I was leaving you guys hanging on.
Little thing wants to talk to Veronica real quick just before we end.
Okay.
Sure.
You have led well during this venture.
Thank you.
It was an honor to follow you in this.
Little Fang. It's also good that we do have a Lupus with us, because I think that's one of the reasons he was comfortable talking to you.
Using the human tongue when you have never had one is difficult.
I will keep that well in mind. I'll also do my best to make sure that you and I don't misunderstand each other when I talk to you.
If there is understanding, I will make Alvaro understand the difference. And unless there's anything else, she's gonna pad off.
All right.
All right, and we will wrap it up there. Thank you, players, for playing and watchers for watching. This has been another episode, Nightfall in Amsterdam.